All right, everybody, we are here for a brief time, not a long time here, to talk about some breaking news on the E36 Unfiltered Podcast Room. Guys, we here. Make sure you go subscribe, like, and share this video. All right, today we're talking about none other than the sporting news, breaking sporting news of Ja Morant on his second situation when it comes to this gunplay, okay? If you guys remember, briefly, he was suspended for 8 games by the NBA, 6 by his team, and 2 by the NBA to complete 8 league suspension games without pay for conduct detrimental to the league, all right? So that's very important, conduct detrimental to the league. So it's not saying that he committed a crime, if anything, for owning a gun, for even having a gun on him, but because at that time, because he was on official NBA business, traveling on road trip business, as well as, again, like I said, just flashing on IG in the club on March the 4th after previous game up in Denver. And this is, like I said, conduct detrimental to the league. There is a standard. There's no Second Amendment that you're breaking, but there is a standard of code of conduct when you are employed by the NBA. They are a private entity, okay? So that came up, that happened. He went back and, he went through a certain rehab for a couple of days and everything, which I am not going to lie, seemed skeptical, at least at the very minimum. But however, like, okay, cool. He did the steps he needed to take, and, let's see what happened from here. Well, we saw what happened from there. Not much. Slightly over 2 months later, now we are back here again with the same thing. Now, let me say this first and foremost. I am not throwing a young man away. I'm not on here to bash him, say he's a lost cause. No, he's not. He's 23 years old, just finished his 4th season in the NBA. Is a budding superstar. Is no question about that. His talent is immense. His IQ, even when he speaks to the media, it's very much on point and says the right thing and know how to respond, know how to do all the right things and say all the right things, but not exercising the right things when it comes to that. All right, now, with that being said, this time he was on IG once again, not his own IG, but his friend's IG on there that was flashing. He was doing NBA YoungBoy. Word is that he just came from the A. He did a big YoungBoy performance. They hit the club up. They was turning up, intoxicated, drinking, having a good time, similar to what happened in Denver. But anyway, they get on IG. His friend gets on IG, and they're having a good time. Boom! All of a sudden, you see. I don't know how they even called it. I haven't even noticed it myself, but they caught a still photo and saw that it was the gun. It was clearly a gun in his hand, which was stupid because it was by his head. But nevertheless, you slow it down and think a little crazy. Had the gun on him, brandishing again. I will say this, at this point in time, you can see and tell that it was no fault or that his friend was trying to expose him, because as soon as he saw it, as soon as he noticed the gun was there, you can see it quickly went to his shoulder, like, oh crap, God dang, I didn't know you got a gun like that, bro. And he kept with it for a few seconds, but the damage was already done. The video has since been deleted, and like I said, now the Memphis Grizzlies has suspended him from all team activities. Guys, what are we doing? What are your thoughts on that, first and foremost? And I'm seeing a lot of people who were bashing some of the black figures that were speaking up about this, of saying how, hey, John, come on, bro, you got to be better than this. What you doing? Well, you got to saying this in the third, because that understanding, and i.e., I'm speaking to somebody like a Shannon Sharp, who was called Uncle Tom, which that's used out of context. But anyway, bash for it, saying they talking bad about the guy that should give him a break. He's young. Jalen Rose even did an interview with him, and these things were done in good taste. Now, they spoke of, he said all the right things and how he got to change his behavior, make better decisions off the court. And one thing Shannon Sharp said was, there's nothing that speaks to, I'm paraphrasing it, there's nothing that speaks to change behavior like change behavior. I can see better than I can hear what you're saying. So show me. And I'd be damn, little bit slightly over 2 months later, the same damn thing. Like, God, come on, man. I've been past those years. I'm following my 30 for the tap into the 40s. So I know what it's like to be young. I've played in college football. I didn't, of course, go to the NBA or the professional level to that height and never became a star like that. But the pressures and things of being that age and the music that was out and the influences, I just looked at things differently. So I always can't give him a scapegoat on that. And I've seen teammates, I've had teammates similar to him. Thank God I will say this, that it was not social media out at this time, because I too put myself in a compromising position sometimes. Nothing to that major. I was never a gunplay type of person. I'm knuckle up, you know what I'm saying? That squabble type of cat. But nevertheless, man, the pride and I remember those days being young and going into the A and kicking it. You know, I was fortunate enough to have friends, the older friends ahead of me, that advanced to the next level of ball. So they had along with myself, my status at Bama and different things, and they had the not only the financial means but also notoriety to be able to go different places. So we would shoot up to the ATL all the time, you know, and it was a hell of a time. But we always thought about this, what we used to say, that it's always fun and games until somebody gets hurt or somebody gets exposed. So therefore, it was certain decisions and things that we did, and me and my partner, we really only, I don't think we ever went outside of me and him. We traveled in small packs, because I know I could trust him. He knew I could trust him. I know I could trust him. He knew he could trust me. He knew I would hold him accountable, and he would hold me accountable, because that's we both wanted the best for each other. It was no way I was going to let him put himself in a compromised position to lose a bag that he had already garnered through his hard work and perseverance. And nor was he going to eliminate and put me in a bad position to also even fumble the bag potentially to get something, and get moving, and just, you know, bring shame not only to ourselves, but to our university or our organization we was playing for, our family name. It's different things that just so much went into play. And you continue to look at it, you can see John does not have that around him. And you can't even put that on his parents at this point in time. Because from my understanding, he grew up in the middle class in South Carolina, population right at 3,000. So it wasn't like he didn't grow up in this type of atmosphere. He's based from the suburbs of South Carolina, where the city he grew up in. So he wasn't a part of that life. But yet there still is some type of pull that his culture has, that he wants to make sure that he about that life. He ain't about that life. That's not, you didn't grow up in that environment. But you worth $200 plus million or more, and you already lost a good bit of that. Now say goodbye to the potential to Nike. They're probably gonna pull a shoe. Pirate, they're probably gonna pull that endorsement as well. You are losing multi-million dollars, generational wealth that you cannot just come across. Like, oh, okay, I picked it up next week. I'll pick up a couple of hours at the job. I'll work a little overtime. No, that doesn't exist. And with that type of money, are you talking about fumbling the bag? Where is your crew, man? Like, where is your mindset at this time? I don't understand it, man. I really don't understand it. And I said that I had to speak to this generation. I don't know about this generation. Like I said, I didn't grow up in that, where you had IG, in order to be able to prove that you was about this life, that you had to put it on social media. I grew up in an area where the people that were about that life were the last ones that are trying to show that it was really about that life. Wide open. You know what I'm saying? Now, if push came to shove, you will find out, oh, they about that life. But other than that, no. But unfortunately, this young man does not understand it. And this is an off season where even said Gilbert Arenas was talking about, hey, this is a time where he got to go and hide away, duck his head, put his head in the sand, and go to work and work on his basketball skills. Work on staying out of trouble, staying out of the spotlight, come back and wreck the league once again, but even in a bigger fashion than he did the year before. Minus all the off the court distraction, which played a role in their season this year. This is a franchise guy, and I'm afraid that he's losing that opportunity as we speak. Because if they can't trust you, they can't put you on. If the NBA can't trust that you can be the face of the league, best believe they will find a way to replace you. Don't be surprised if you guys don't see as many Memphis Grizzlies games being nationally televised. Okay? Don't be surprised by that. If you don't think it's possible, you don't think they'll do it, even though they're not in the West Coast, which makes it a lot of later time for people to watch the games. Think about Damian Lillard. He's in a small market, but he has a skill set to be able to be a face of the league. However, because of his small market, and they just like, nah, we don't want him. And it's Portland. They don't show many of his games. He used 50-point bombs, and you found out the next morning because it wasn't aired on a national broadcast, ESPN, TNT, things of that nature. It's not. So they can do it. It may hurt us fans that enjoy seeing the John Morant, enjoy seeing the greatest next level talent, but you're never bigger than the league. You are never and will never be bigger than the league. And I think this young man is unfortunately in a role to find out the hard way, because they're not suspending him for making, if he legally own this gun, it's fine. But they have an image that they are protecting, a brand, that shield. That shield. This is my shield. This is my shield. And they ain't messing with nobody or continue to highlight somebody who don't represent what I want, how I want my shield to be represented. And that's what they're doing. So, man, I hate it for this young man. I'm not saying I'm shocked. You know, I am kind of shocked, because I didn't think, I'm like, you ain't gonna you're not gonna do the same thing twice. You're not gonna do something this blank, this stupid twice. What's wrong? I think this is a time where some of the other faces and names that were speaking out against him, you know, speaking out against Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith, calling these people coon, calling these men coon and stuff, you need to check yourself. Or are you gonna make sure you replace his money that he's losing? Why? So he can keep it real, be himself, do what he do him, Steven Jackson. Are you gonna do that for him? You can look out for him, because y'all some of the main ones talking about they need to shut up, they need to pull back, they need to fall off this young man. You know what I'm saying? But they was telling not what he wanted to hear, what he needed to hear. Now, if he didn't take heed to that, which seemed like he didn't, and he listened to what he wanted to hear, which was you guys, I'm cool, bro. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna survive this. Nah, because not even y'all had an opportunity to have a bag that big. Not one of y'all was, you know, and not knocking this, no knock to them or to any of the players or people who were saying differently, but they wouldn't garner to be the next face of the league. That's a major, major, major honor. Last but not least, what are you doing in your life where you feel like you have to hold a gun by yourself? You got to be loaded, locked and loaded all the time. Where are you going? What environments are you surrounding yourself by, around your partners? What's going on? If it ain't you, do they got a lifestyle that's potentially putting you in harm's way? If that's the case, they ain't your real partners. They ain't being smart. They didn't latch on to what you got going on. Hey, how can I be a part of the team? What can I contribute to be a part of the team and be legitimate? And so that we locking this thing down for generations. I can help feed my family as well, but be an asset to you. These big names, LeBrons, KD's, different places, people that go different places and do their thing, they always have security with them. You pay somebody to do that. You pay somebody to carry the gun so you don't have to. You pay somebody to protect you so you don't have to worry about that. Looking over your shoulder all the time. It's disappointing. And I hope this is a learning lesson, not only for him once again, but for these younger generations out here. The current generation looking up to him. Like my nephew, that looks up to a John Morant. I'm not saying I'm throwing this young man to the wolves. Nah. But what I am saying is, bro, you effing up, G. You effing up royally. You fumbling the bag. Big time. And I can speak to that because I had dreams and aspirations. You got it. You got it. What you gonna do, man? You gotta take this again on the chin, shake it off, dust yourself off, and ask yourself, is it really worth it? Is it really worth it? Yo, that's my time here. I'm out of here. E36 Unfiltered. Check it out, guys. Subscribe, like, share, drop your comments down below. We out of here. That'll be good, all right? Thank you for all your time.